even know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. Skye Squad, we are back in the building. Let us know where you guys are watching from when you tap into the room. Also, go ahead and hit that like button. Tap on into that like button, all right? I see a bunch of y'all already in the room, so go ahead and hit the like button right now if you like reality TV related content. So we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got episode 2 of season 16. And Porsha, when I was writing the title out for this episode, I was like, Porsha did a lot this episode. Porsha had a lot going on in this episode. She did the absolute most now that I reflect on it, okay? She did the absolute most. So this is very fascinating to me now that I reflect on it. I actually really enjoyed last night's episode. Let me know if you enjoyed last night's episode. I thought it had drama mixed with intrigue, mixed with news stories. So I was here for it. And as a bonus, we did get a little bit more Kenya Moore for those of you guys who are Kenya Moore fans. It may not be as much as you like, but at least they are still including her, because I feel like the way they're rolling out the story, I felt like, okay, yes, give us more of it. So let's get into the episode title. It's called Hot Dogs and Hot Mics. And it says, after Shamea's birthday party concludes with a bang, Kelly faces challenges opening her new restaurant. Newlywed Britt prepares to be more than a dog mom, and Porsha demands answers from Dennis. Thank you, Billy, so much for the super chat. Hey, boo, I feel like Atlanta is back. Definitely is back, okay? If you guys need a great photographer here in the DC area, Billy is one of my photographers, so definitely tap in and get on into the photo booth, okay? Get into the photo booth. Who we got in the building? I see y'all. I think everybody's a little bit confused. I don't really. I'm trying to get into it and I'm trying to figure it out, but I feel a little bit discombobulated with it. I don't know what it is. So let's run through the scenes. This first scene right here is a continuation of last week with Shamea confronting Drew about going to the club for her birthday, but not inviting nobody else and only Dennis, allegedly. Okay. The rumors on the streets are that Dennis and Drew were basically dressed like Bobsy twins. Okay. Then you have the rumor that they were holding hands. Shamea is definitely giving us, laying the groundwork for whatever the streets are saying about Drew and Dennis. They even flashed up some headlines to legitimize these rumors. I hadn't heard them, but I don't live in Atlanta, so it could have been something that I definitely missed, especially being engaged with some other shows at the time. If you saw those rumors, let us know. Okay, let me know. All right. I'm still trying to figure it out, right? But what we do know is that Drew feels like Dennis has been her angel on earth. She now believes that she can fly. Okay. She is now being guided by the spirits. Now that Dennis McKinley has entered her life, now she can finally be set free. He has opened up the doors of the church for her. Now she can walk on down the aisle. Okay. Now she can sing in the choir. Now Drew has been lifted from the earth and is now ascending into the heavens, all because Dennis McKinley has come in as her Lord and Savior. Okay. And now he has hoisted her into the stratosphere so that she may now move on with her life, make income, and dang all of those other producers who are in the Atlanta area because they are not about it like Dennis, who provided her with a full-on PowerPoint presentation, okay, so that she can understand that he is serious about making music with her that is actually indeed about Porsha. And as such, Porsha then chimes in about why she's so upset. It's not just that Drew is going to the club and holding hands with Dennis, maybe or maybe not, allegedly, I don't know. It's not just that. No, it is so much more. Okay. It is so much more than that. Why? Why must it be Dennis that you bring on camera? Because she wants to know, producer, can I break the fourth wall? And that producer's like, break it. And I'm like, break it too. And so she's like, you are a low down, dirty individual. You are scum. You are slimy. You are so grimy. What you're trying to do is you are trying to film with my baby daddy, my ex-man. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's what you are doing. And he is mine. You might have had him once, but I got him all the time. That is my man. That is my person to be filming with. Don't you ever put your nasty claws on my ex so that you think that you can bring him over here to what I work so that you can work with him. No, ma'am, Pam, that's not what you will do. And furthermore, what you won't do is you won't take the weave that I gave you and you won't slap it on your head and coordinate a photo shoot for it to promote my business. No, you won't. Ma'am, if Drew does a photo shoot, let me make myself a little bigger. If Drew does a photo shoot with the Go Naked hair on TV that is promoting your business and getting sales for you, if she was taking it upon herself to go film a Go Naked photo shoot, girl, won't you get the money? Won't the people be buying the products from you? They're not going to buy it from Drew's warehouse unless she's selling the wigs a la Kim Zolciak directly from the closet, which I ain't got no problem with either because everybody love a good closet sale. But I'm just thinking to myself, don't that really benefit your business? Does she need to ask for your permission first? Maybe maybe that's the case. Maybe Porsha has final approval on all photos and video visuals that go out for any brand ambassador. Okay. Maybe Porsha wants final approval on all those things, for which I can't say that I blame her, but listening to her argument is really just interesting to me. It's just interesting. Like, that's you mad about that? So you gonna curse me out and call me a low down, slimy, nasty individual who scrapes their tongue on the sidewalk for that? And Drew has a tendency to. Drew has a very interesting way of fighting back. And I think it's also a tactic that she used with Ralph. Drew is not overly aggressive with her rebuttals. Drew is a bit more passive aggressive with her rebuttals. Ooh, the posturing. Well, what did I do that was so bad? Tell me. Spell it out to me, Porsha. Spell it out to me. Kenya's sitting over there. She confused. But to a certain degree, I do understand Porsha's upset. To a certain degree. Porsha is feeling like you are roping in somebody that is in my life to be a part of your story. And now I don't know or I don't trust that he's going to represent me and our family in the best light. To which I say, Porsha, did you watch your spinoff? I don't know if you saw your spinoff because you did not represent your family in the best light. Okay, but for the sake of it being reality TV, if that was your real response, that was your real response. Point blank in the period. I do understand the fact that now you are on a show with factors that are in your life that you can no longer control. And that is enough to send a lot of people into a tizzy. There's a reality to that I do understand and I do empathize with, because that reality is now your baby daddy's a part of the show. Now you're already going through this divorce, with somebody posting ad nauseum. Well, just, there's a lot of posting that's happening. He's responding to things. And, even Kenya calls that out. But now you also have your BFF, who is literally the centerpiece of the show. So there is a human element that I do understand with Porsha, but it doesn't make her look the best. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But I commend her for standing 10 toes down in it, and we'll circle back to her and Dennis when it's time, okay? Because I do kind of want us to go in the order and discuss some of the scenes. So after that whole blow up happens, the ladies, they exit stage left. Apparently Kenya leaves, and the rest of the ladies jump into the pool. In my mind, I'm wondering to myself, did y'all know did they know that they was gonna jump in the pool wearing all their fashions and got the laces glued and stuff like that? Like, does the lace come apart? Like, does the glue lift up in the water? I don't know. So anyway, what I do know is, yeah, I mean, and I think we like Porsha. We like Porsha, but the way this scene played out was very reminiscent. The way some of these scenes with her played out was very reminiscent of her reality show, Porsha's Family Matters. It really reminded me of some of those episodes, to be honest with you. But I understand it. I think there is some validity in what she is saying. As you see here, Cynthia agrees. Don't be bringing none of my exes around and trying to film with them. I get it. But the way she's kind of handling with Drew, it's weird to me. It's a little weird. It's a little intense. Okay, so we get a scene with Angela and her husband. We see them. We learn a bit more about them. Angela still reminds me of a little bit of a mix between Karen Huger, Sheree Whitfield, and LaToya Jackson. I'm not going to lie to you. She does. She's a great looking woman. She's clearly in shape. To see her and her husband's relationship in private or in their own scene makes me understand a lot more of why he would tell her on camera that your lace is lifting. That's just his personality. And she's just like, basically, you just got to love him for who he is. Period. But I was interested in the fact that she has her own businesses in the financial services business, and she's got all these properties. I'm like, hopefully we can dive into that, because I think that that's super interesting. I do like to see the success and the luxury of it all, but I also like to see how they built it, you know. And so she has her own, which I think is also unique about her as well. That's just my thought. And so far, I honestly like Angela. I think that there is something interesting about her that I think we haven't necessarily seen in a minute on this show. And I cannot tell you why this season reminds me of season 6 for some reason. I don't know why. It's something about it. I don't know. So I'm interested in Angela. I find her fascinating, especially this little simmering beef that she has with Shamea. It's giving me old school housewives vibes, and I dig it. All right, so next we have a scene with Kenya and Porsha, which is what we had seen, I think, pictures of back last season when they were filming. Great scene where we get further context about how Kenya feels about the Drew and the Dennis situation. She was surprised and shocked. And then we get further context as to what is going on with Porsha. Now, Porsha alleges a lot about Simon in this episode. She talks about him allegedly there being another wife that I guess came before her or something of that nature. And whether it was real or not, there were instances allegedly of, you know, them pulling up in the private jet and them being surrounded by the popo or some type of service. I don't know who it was. Then she alleges that, he was caught in the house with some other women. Some other women's was in the house. In the house while she was there. Was she there? I somebody got to remind me in the chat. Remind me in the chat. Did she say that she was she in the house at the same time that she alleged that him and the women's was in the house? Terry Lynn, I definitely feel like Angela is like an old school housewife vibe. She has her own money, not afraid to confront the girls in her own way. I really like her a lot. And I mean, she feels natural, but I feel like she's also probably still getting used to the cameras. Okay, so she saw it on camera. So we don't know if she was at the house. Kat says they weren't at the house at the same time. Okay, she was watching it on the security feed. Yes, y'all, please like this video. So it's interesting. It's very interesting what she tells Kenya versus, and I don't know that we had heard any of that. Had we heard any of that? And my question is, where is Simon? Is Simon on the loose? Does anybody know? Hold on, let me look on social media and see if he's posted anything. Because you know Simon would be. I don't see he didn't say nothing. But where is he at? Does anybody know where he is? I don't know where he is. So it is what it is. Is he still being held up by the people? I don't know. So anyway, the next scene that we see is with Britt Edie and her husband and her mom. Britt in this scene seemed all over the place. She just seemed all over the place. The conversation with the husband went from here to here to here to here to here. The man just seemed like I feel like the man loves her. I feel like he just here for the ride. Okay, where are you gonna take us to next? That's what I got from the scene. Essentially, she wants a baby, and essentially, Moms is living with them, and essentially, they are selling Mom's house and redoing something to it. That's what I got from the scene. That's really all I can give you. I don't know that we got much more than that, but like I said, she was just all over the place for me. And maybe that's how they edited the conversation. I really don't know. But there's that. So the next scene that we see is with Shamea and her surrogate, Shadina. Shadina? It's her name, Shadina, I think. And we learned that Shadina had breast cancer, unfortunately. We also learned that apparently it came on around the time that she was carrying Shamea's child. So they do have a very intense, not really intense, but they do have a good conversation about the whether or not the pregnancy and the hormones brought on the breast cancer, or if it had any impact on her carrying, Shamea's child, which I thought, again, the transparency in that conversation. Shamea, to me, especially after Watch What Happens Live, Shamea gives Center Peach energy. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. She really does. The authenticity of her story, the way she is able to empathize, the way she's still able to really, I feel like, be a good friend, be a supportive friend, but still and call out people, be in the mix, move the story, the way she answers questions in interviews. Shamea she got it. She got it. And I don't know how that's going to impact her and Porsha as things move forward. But Shamea, I'm gonna reserve that judgment for later. But I do feel like it makes sense for the show to be centered around her. That's my feeling on it. That's my feeling on it. And I feel like she's being herself. But you can see her mentally trying to navigate very circuitous waters and very rough waters, especially with Porsha being on this show and her having to be a friend, a really good friend to Porsha, despite what Porsha may be doing or not doing for her. We get a scene with Kelly, and we learn, well, two scenes with Kelly. One, she is opening up a new location for her Nana's Chicken and Waffles. That's going to be facing some dilemmas. There's more that's tied into that with the ex-husband allegedly taking $500,000 out of their business account and all types of other things. We learned that at some points she had to sleep in the closet because she was afraid of the situation bubbling over in her previous relationship. These are all things that she says on the show. I do feel like I like Kelly and what she brings because I do think that I feel like she's bringing her authentic self. And then the next scene that we see with Kelly is actually with Britt as Britt stops by and they have a doggy play date. I think this is the scene that Toya was referring to because Toya actually mentioned the two ponytails when she was doing her virtual reality interview. And the only thing I have to say about it is this. People are gonna get, especially if you're gonna be on TV, if you're gonna be in front of cameras, people are gonna want to look their best at all times. That definition of what that looks like is gonna be specifically for that person. Now, if it feels obvious, then people like Toya will call it out. If you feel like it's distracting, people will call it out. I think they look beautiful. It is what it is at this point. We all know what the game is. People get on TV, or people just want to look like their best selves. And whether or not you feel like they go over, that's a personal opinion. But I do think that this is the scene that Toya was referring to. Bianca says, Nana's Chicken and Waffles is good. I went to the one in McDonough, Georgia. I would love some chicken and waffles right now. That would be so good. Okay, side note. So the next scene that we see is the scene with Drew has a little workout date situation with Angela and Shamea. Before Shamea gets there, she confesses to Angela what she's been going through with this situation with Ralph and how difficult it is with him living in the basement and them going through this divorce. She too makes a lot of accusations about things that Ralph is doing and how it's impacting her. But thank God for Dennis. Woo! Dennis has been able to help cure her ails. Yes, yes, indeed. Didn't you know? Dennis has the cure. He is the housewife's whisperer. So as a result, now she is making music and she is free. Okay. She has freed her mind and now the rest is following. Thank God. And Angela vows to be there as a support system for her Chicago sister. As you should, Angela, as you should. Finally, Shamea arrives and it's time to work out. So we get to sweating and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. And then it's time for us to sit down and have a real ponderosa. As such, Shamea's like, hey, girl, what you doing with your music? You got an album coming out? What we learned later is that album was supposed to have been out before the season started. Yes. That's what Dennis told Porsha in the scene. So why wasn't that album out? Because when Drew made the announcement, I remember being one of the people who was like, oh, she's got the album coming out. I mean, she ain't even dropped a single yet. The album must be like popping and finished, right? But then we got the single, but we didn't get an album. I think that's supposed to come out this week, the 21st. Am I correct? I could be correct. Anyway, so be on the lookout for Drew's album on the 21st. Now, back to her Lord and Savior. So, Shamea wants to know, girl, what are you doing? And I don't remember what Drew says. But then Angela's like, hey, I'm shocked that you just came out and asked Drew if she was messing around with Dennis. And Shamea's like, well, I mean, I wanted to know. The people have been coming to me with the rumors. And so Angela's like, well, you know, I just still thought it was kind of crazy that you asked her like that in front of the group. You know what I'm saying? It was funny to me in that scene that Angela had taken this stance on it, because in the actual scene, Angela was telling Drew, girl, this don't look right. I don't know if y'all caught that, but I did. Okay, because I felt like I'd watched it a couple of times now. So to look back at it, I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe because they didn't have this little Chicago sister talk, maybe they didn't have a little sister circle moment before Shamea got there. That's the reason why she's now, you know, piping up for Drew. For which Shamea is like, girl, like when Porsha was going slam off on Drew, you were sitting there quiet as a church mouse. So I didn't even, who knew that you could talk? And Angela's like, hold on. You're not going to be railroading me. Don't be trying to run over me like that. Back up. You better back up. I'm 6 foot tall. Okay. I'm 6 foot tall. I am an Amazon and I got this. You're not going to run over me. I don't care whose centerpiece you are. Which I thought, okay, this is the beginning of something. This is how I see. To me, the best drama stems from misunderstandings, you know, and moments of tension between people that don't really know each other like that. This is what I like to see, because now we're going to see this carry over into next episode, and we're going to see Shamea talk about Angela's nose, and we're going to see Angela call her Flavor Flav and Shamina. Meanwhile, the scene ends hilariously, and then it's time for us to move to Dennis and Porsha. Okay, the ending of it all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So Porsha confronts Dennis, and she basically tells him, why in the world do you have to go and work with somebody that is also on my show? Which also led me to wonder, if you feel like this is your show, then how do you feel about Shamea being on your show as the centerpiece? I don't know. I have to wonder that, because the way she's so upset about it is like, and granted, again, everybody, I'm sure most people would be, but it's just interesting, you know? And so he basically tells her, like, that's my little sis. Like, it is what it is. This music I'm writing is actually about you, which I thought was weird. Um, I kind of feel like Dennis does know what he's doing. I mean, it's kind of like free promo for him as well. So the music aspect works for him and Drew. It does not work for Portia. That's the bottom line. And it creates a conflict for Portia because I think what she doesn't want to have happen is I don't think she wants to have another moment that results in her looking like or looking crazy like what happened on her spinoff. That's what I really think. That's what I think she's afraid of. That's one of the things that I think she's afraid of. Or what he might say, what he might reveal about her or about their family or how their dynamics, what they do. And she just feels like she can't get loyalty anywhere. Now, again, this is coupled with the fact that the woman is going through a divorce. So I remember that. This is also coupled with the fact that the woman's best friend is now on the same show that she is on at the same tier that she is on. Now you have added Drew working with her baby daddy. So now he's in the mix. So there is a lot for her to deal with and to process. And I can't fault her for her reactions, but it does make you wonder about her thought process. It does. You can't help it. You cannot help it. I'm reading y'all's responses. I'm just gonna go through some of these responses. I mean, I'm just listen, I'm just calling it how I see it, how I feel. Um Crystal. Crystal. Um so then she walks off into the bathroom for a little Kim Zodiac moment. And she breaks down crying, you know, she can't get no loyalty. Can't get no loyalty from nobody. What? Why, Lord? Why? Why? Oh Lord. Um, oh Lord. Why? Ooh, dab eye. Dab the eye. So she finally leaves. Then, mind you, I don't know if you caught it in the scene with Kenya Moore, the Rolls Royces, and they made special mention of when they each got their Rolls Royces and how they got them, which I thought was also funny. And then we go back to that Rolls Royce as if this was given Kiki Wyatt and Avant music video to me. At the way her and Dennis are sitting up in that car together. Why is he in the car with her? I have no idea. I don't even feel like he came there with her. So why they driving off together is very odd to me. But maybe the Uber dropped them off. I really don't know. But it was feeling very music video, like 90s R&B music video, where the couple is mad and she about to go sing her heart out. Okay. I can't remember the name of her song to save my life. Somebody chime down in the chat the name of Portia's first song, that first single she came out with. She was about, I mean, that would have been the perfect music video for that song, whatever it was. Okay. She about to pull a Kiki Wyatt and Avant and about to sing her face off. Okay. But what we get instead is a hot mic moment that Dennis has to tell her about. And she's like, well, of course you would know about a hot mic now that you a veteran on this thing. You about like you done filmed about as many seasons as I have. So she's upset. Oh, Flatline. She about to go sing Flatline. Amazing Grace. So she didn't had a conniption in the car. They didn't caught it on camera. Now she driving off into the night. The episode was good to me. I say all that to say the episode was good to me. They have given us a lot of material to work with in this episode. The new faces, the new spaces, the drama, the betrayal, the low down, dirty individuals of it all have me in a chokehold. I'm not going to lie. I am here for it. So let me know what you guys think. And of course, later on today, we have a lot to cover with Married to Medicine. When I tell you there was a lot to cover, there's a lot to cover with Married to Medicine. So be sure to be on the lookout. I'll probably post the live link for it in a couple of hours. But I'm kind of glad it's the end of that season because I'm a little. We'll do it around 5 or 6, probably like 5 or 6, somewhere thereabouts. PM Eastern Standard Time. All right, so listen, y'all, make sure you like this video if you like reality TV related content. If you like Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you like this episode, definitely give it a like. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, because sometimes we'll watch videos and we won't have subscribed. Be sure to check out the links in the description down below. I have some office hours set up for people who have asked for consultations this week. So be sure to tap into that. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next video.